Discover cowrie shell divination, ancient wisdom at your fingertips. You set the shells, I decode your answers, love, career, and more. We've got the guidance you seek. Tap into shamanic roots, uncover your inner energy, chase your dreams, learn from the wisdom of tribal mystics, bridging the gap to your potential. Supercharge your experience with us. Book now at tanyad.tv for self-discovery, and I will see you on the other side. Ashe. Inshallah and Ashe, as always, divine wills, blessings to you and for you, gratitude. I'm excelling, I'm paying it forward, like excelled and excited beyond divine spiritual connection, mapping out the design, numerology. Are you in? Have you hit the white rabbit? Have you subscribed to my show, my channel? Take my show into the absolute, the infinite, the purity. I'm seeing all white here. Looking into the future. Sharing your light with your friends or even your frenemies. But this week, you actually may find yourself really tidying up the remodel of your feelings. The sacral center activates around 6 months into 2.5 years. And we recycle through the seasons, by the way. Ritual is part of that essence. Some of you may not be ready to hear this, however. So much of our spiritual growth is dependent upon our understanding of just this one concept. If you commonly feel stressed, anxious on a regular basis, your body has quite literally memorized that emotion, and it then becomes a habit, a habitual way of feeling. Habits of a lifetime take on a habit of their own. Even doing a body check-in, like right now, saying out loud, "Hey body," left hand on heart, like what are the most prominent feelings that you feel on a day-to-day basis? Because those are the emotions that your body really has memorized, put to memory, and it has been in this habitual loop. It's a looping system, a looping feeling, if you will. Now, a lot of people don't really understand this emotional looping, so they'll get out in life and possibly think, hey, I need to change all these things in my reality, and then I'll be able to feel happy, not stressed, not anxious, or whatever it is. However, little do they know that once they get into that next level, achieving that one thing or whatever thing they wish to achieve, they're then going to find another thing to be stressed or anxious about, or both. This can be applied to other emotions as well, by the way, whether it's the lower frequencies of guilt, shame, disgust, fear, whatever it is. But here's the most magical, beautiful part. You can actually shift the emotions that your body habitually feels into positive emotions. And what if instead of trying to chase and change things within your reality, we actually put the focus and intention on changing the emotions that we feel on a day-to-day basis, thereby shifting the frequency at which we are living in. And in doing so, allowing us to really attract with ease these things. So this is what I always say. How life is truly changing is an inner game. It's a game of chess. And when you start to put your focus and attention on really caring for, nurturing your energetic states, your energy and your emotions and your state of being from within, life unfolds naturally without us having to like hustle or chase or instigate. So kind of let me know if you're resonating with what I'm saying here, what I'm throwing down. And I'm going to actually possibly create a part 2 or just finish it here and do part 2 of the rest of the show on how to actually start shifting your energetic star, changing your emotions that your body is actually feeling. So with that, my name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And of course, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, Heartfelt, Feeling Into Your Soul, please do. Hit that white rabbit, the white button, here on YouTube, Tanya D, all things Tanya D. And Musing with Tanya D, my podcast. I hope you're loving Season of the Witches if you have yet to subscribe. But our high heart, the part of us that I would say is actually connected divinely to our God spot, to our higher self, the divine core. Have you tuned into the Sacred Virgo Spirit Meditation Circle? This is where our heart becomes defined on what we actually love in our divine core. divine pour. How we love ourselves on the inside is really a divine reflection out into the outer world. It really is the divine pour. It's like the nectar of the gods. And before I muse any further, once again, let's give a shout out to my village, my show. My tribe is excelling, growing beyond my heart, and I thank you so much for that. Gratitude and blessings. If you're new to my show, new peeps entering the village. And of course, those of you that do comment or revisit for the replays, subscribers, I really like to give a validation, a voice of acknowledgement that I do see you, and I am grateful that you have showed up. New friends, again, welcome. Welcome to the village and guests. Really, it's about magnetizing and monetizing and being a collective energy shifting. I'm all about angelic subscribers for my show, my channel. And I do have actually a podcast dedicated to Metatron in the show notes. That's the angelic being of Virgo. I tend to navigate to both Metatron and Sandalphon myself, music in my ears, sacred geometry for healing. But it's our inner voice dialogue actually came off holiday last week, right? Our solar plexus, you may have felt that. Either way, go ahead and share the excitement with your friends, like-minded groups and musers. It really does take a community, a village, a tribe to choreograph, to activate the stage of life and really change the way that we treat ourselves, and the world outside of us begins to treat us differently too. It's a reflection. It's a divine reflection. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm musing into that. And again, those of you that have been a part of my journey since the beginning, tuning into the replays or just navigating whenever time allows, again, ashe and blessings to you and for you. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, a comment if you do feel like you are in a need for a message for your day. Sharing is just another way of paying it forward. You could also find me, of course, on other social channels, TikTok. I do need the numbers there. I really want to start throwing the bones and showing the followers what throwing the shells and the bones, doing mini divinations. I would actually love to actually be able to do that as an offering. YouTube Shorts, Reels, thanks for sharing those as well. Mostly my meditation, so I am seeing that, by the way, loving that and sharing. I'm just blessed. I feel really grateful. Just remember, I am your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we have an energetic hiccup and we need another worldly perspective, a life coach assistant, myself included. I'm not absolved of this in any way, to get us out of our own magical way. Now, my daily snippet, which is actually turned now into a weekly snippet or a muse. What is this all about? Well, I like to muse about the cosmic insights, the planets, predominantly the moon, the elementals of the galaxy doing their cosmic dance. By design, I do follow the lunar energies, the moon, both through the seasons and the gates. But we all have intuitive gifts. So if you're feeling the call to navigate yours, go ahead and take my Change Your Starts quiz. It's actually super fun. Find out your intuitive gift order. We all have them. You might just have more gifts than you thought of. The 4 pillars of elemental astrology, the elemental of the day, and the pathways. As a human design reflector, I'm always asking myself if I'm in the right place with the right people. Is this the right time by design with the right people, place, and all things? And what am I seeing or sensing that nobody else can sense or see? And what's the movement that I'm creating within my sensing and seeing? And the solution. There has to be a solution. I'm more solution driven. But if you're curious how you too can utilize the elementals on grid or off grid, you can still actually activate your Rising of the Origins portal. I left that open to really inspire a perspective that you may not have seen in the elemental realm. But the key is authentically trusting our intuition. Change Your Stars, take my quiz. If you're really curious and on a quest about your intuitive gifts, some of them might just be out of worldly. They might be the out of body energetic centers. They do light up a different stage for us. And really cleansing our auric field, the etheric body, the etheric highway. I do follow the moon as a reflector by design, both through astrology, the seasons, and the gates. Journaling with the moon, following it through the app there. But how do you actually cleanse the emotions that your body is habitually feeling? Now, I'm going to share a few different ways that we can do this or go about doing this. So if you can really hang in and really watch this video to the end in its entirety, it really has the power to really change your life. So the first thing that I'm going to share is raising our consciousness. And I know this one may not be the most sexiest, exciting thing there is, but it literally is so magnetizing and freaking life-changing. And really, everyone, Everybody really wants to learn how to manifest, right? And do these things quickly, really quickly. When the reality of it is, the foundation of all this work is being able to raise our consciousness, our frequency, energy, vibration, and understanding that you are not your thoughts. However, the reason why people are so into these habitual ways of feeling is because they are unconscious. And when their thoughts are on this emotional loop and it's activated, so let's say, for example, that a person wakes up every day and is just feeling anxiety, feeling stressed. They're going to start thinking thoughts that really validate that emotion and bring it into fruition, causing them to feel more of that emotion, causing them to think more of those negating thoughts. So this is the thought and emotion looping. Now, when we are unconscious of thoughts and emotions looping, when we have a low level of consciousness, meaning we just identify with every thought that we're having, thinking it's true. So we're going to think those anxious thoughts and then start believing them. We're going to fuel them with more energy, causing us to feel more of those frequency, energy, emotions. And the reason why our consciousness is literally the key to all of our manifestation work, magnetizing, all energy changing work, shifting, transforming, is because when you are now suddenly waking up, feeling anxiety, and the thoughts come up to tell you, oh, you should feel or you should be stressed about XYZ or QRP, you're not attaching to them and feeding them energy. You're actually just observing them like a cloud in the sky. You're allowing them to just be. And knowing they aren't rooted in truth, spiritual truths. They're just there and they just float on by, and you're not fueling the fire. So aside from silent meditation, a meditation practice that's going to transform and change and shift your freaking life, if you really have the patience, the stick-to-itiveness, there's another avenue that we can also take that really supplements this journey energetically. But you really have to start showing up in your body, showing your body what it truly feels like to feel abundance, to feel freedom, to feel joy, the joy molecules. So we really have to start replacing those negating emotions, negative emotions, with positive emotions. Now, I would say it's sometimes I see it as a wrinkle in the fabric. And the way that you can start thinking about this or musing about it is waking up each and every day and choosing the channel, choosing the emotion that you truly want to feel for the day in its authenticity. And I think of this as like priming myself for the day. One of the most powerful practices that I found that has really authentically worked for me, and I can honestly say I really took a break for this for a while. I almost feel like I took a break for it while I was in the second phase of being a reflector. I'm a 6-2 reflector. So I think I was just in observership for a long time. But I really recently just really got back into this frequency, this flow. It's really a visualization meditation. I do have a water trine in my natal chart in astrology, my ruling planet along with my moon and my wound, by the way, which is connected to my rising sign. And water is totally missing in my Chinese elemental chart. So I feel like I'm really freaking good at tuning into frequency, energy, vibration, tuning into emotions, tuning into feelings. So I can put on a visualization meditation and literally, imaginally, the imaginational realm, our 8th energetic center, literally transport myself into that reality where I am showing my body literally what it feels like to really be there, allowing my soul to access that emotion, myself, in the now, in the present. So there's a few meditations that I often use. I actually have a bunch, actually. My gifts on my website for my subscribers, The Inner Smile. I've also done some Joe Dispenza meditations on his website here and there. YouTube has them as well, by the way. Now, the key with this modality is not to tell yourself, oh, I'm faking this feeling now so that I can get this thing and then I really want to feel that way. I want to do visualization meditations every day so you can literally show your mind, your body, your soul that you are really already in that reality. Maybe you're in the process phase, it's a phase, but you're already there. You're activating it, really knowing and understanding every single thing that you desire is actually already here in the now. And all you must do now is take that inspired action to manifest those things, to bring them into form. Another way of tuning into those heightened emotions and priming, it feels like primping your body to feeling that abundance of joy, is through a consistent gratitude practice, a gratitude bowl. That's what I have on my desk. It's really important when you're writing the things down that you allow yourself to really feel into the actual gratitude, the blessing bowl. Now, so many people will hear this and they will get kind of scared of feeling the lower frequency vibrations. They're going to resist the feelings of being in the flow of those lower vibrations. When in reality, the next part of this is to actually learn how to really hold space for lower frequency energy vibration. Whenever you are feeling the emotion of fear or anxiety, shame, blame, all the things or anything that's really coming, bubbling up for you, it's not about resisting the feelings. It's about allowing and feeling shame for feeling those lower vibrations. It's about holding it, synchronizing it, really recognizing that you can be big enough, a huge being, an energy being, to be with that energy and be that energy at the same time without making it mean something about you. Also known as without fueling the emotion with more thoughts. So next time that you feel fear, you're saying, okay, left hand on my heart, maybe do both. The energy of fear is present within me. And I can be with this energy without creating any storylines, magnetizing it in my head. And I've truly learned so much of the spiritual connection, the path of spirit, to be spiritually attuned, if you will, is stepping into a life of alignment. It's also about learning how to expand our capacity, our energetic beingness to hold discomfort, to create a comforter. Meaning that when you're feeling all these lower vibrations and frequencies, which is actually very natural here and there, you can actually hold space for them without creating a narrative, a storyline in your head. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anxiety. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to validate that emotion with thoughts of how powerless I am. I'm still going to take the action, even through feeling this emotion, being able to hold discomfort without it meaning something about who I am or about you. That's huge. Now, this part is probably the most powerful, actually. And if you made it to this end of this video, I know you're a real one. I know you're in your authenticity. You're somebody who really wants to really do this work. But this is all about the subconscious mind, which is literally like the bread and butter. I talk about this all the time. But we all have subconscious programs, patterns that are very deeply rooted beliefs that we hold about who we are, ourselves, which are really based on these experiences that we experienced when we were younger. Now, a part of my spirit journey of shifting my energetic state has been focused on subconscious healing, not just of myself, but of others. And I've worked with a coach where I've become aware of what my subconscious programs are. I communicate with the universe every morning. However, it's like things that are deep-rooted beliefs that I may have had about myself. And as soon as I'm healing that wound, bringing up those emotions, realizing like, whoa, I've been thinking this about myself for possibly the entirety of my life. Or maybe somebody's trying to push their thoughts upon you about you. But the next time I'm in my reality, living my life with those thoughts when they're arising around not being enough or not being good enough to achieve whatever it is, a certain thing, I'm able to have a conscious awareness going into a washing, wishing tree, celestial wishing bowl. So this is like a deeper level of what I talked about in the kind of the beginning, but I'm able to have the conscious awareness of whoa, like holding the reins back on a horse, hold on. Okay, these thoughts are actually rooted in a subconscious limitation that I'm no longer subscribing to. We've got a lot of subscription channels, right? So we can no longer subscribe. And then that allows us to more easily let go of those thoughts and know that they are not your truth. Subconscious healing has been like, mwah, like life altering, life transforming for me. Now, here's like the deeper level of this stuff. It's like going under the surface. When you start to release the subconscious limitations that you may have about yourself unconsciously, and as you start to become aware of them, you don't identify with them anymore. What is underneath the release of that limitation is your natural state of beingness. It truly is inner peace, love, joy, bliss. That is literally our natural state, our organic state of being. Think about the way a baby is when a baby is born into this world. And we go through this. Babies, when they come out of the womb, out of the water into the world. Now imagine yourself in your mind's eye coming up for air outside the water. Water is a conduit. It is a reconciling, clarity, blessing, peaceful bowl. Like we go to the water to reconcile, get into the flow. And it doesn't have, a baby doesn't have to learn how to be happy, to be in bliss, to be in joy. So when you remove the limitations, you remove those subconscious beliefs, you're then left with the natural energetics. You're left with the natural high. So if you want to become more aware of your own limitations, the limitations and what they are, I do have a lot of free downloads in my vault on my website. You can actually check them out. They are fantastic. I'm not going to lie. But if you are here, now is the time. It's time to really devote yourself to this work. It's all about starting small. Remember, babies aren't made in a day. They got to incubate. Start with what resonates with you. But if you're feeling like it's time to do the work, knowing you got this. And do you ever spend time and space in the memories, the memoirs of your life, reflecting? That's kind of what that is. I'm going to do just a few announcements here on the menu. I have yet to create the Sacred Spirit Circle for Libra season, but be sure to subscribe, hit the white rabbit so you get the notification. And again, thanks for loving, sharing, and commenting. I do see you, by the way. The Virgo new moon, how was that for you? I just want to say gratitude. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for taking my views into the infinite. I do appreciate that. I will have a new podcast out. I do them weekly. And if you haven't, I've started putting them on YouTube, by the way. Let me just scroll on down here on this mystical, magical Monday. My podcast this week, How to Factor in Desire for Transformation, episode 737. You can actually find this on YouTube as well. And my website. It's about healers and wizards and reflectors, right? But Christy Whitman, great, fantastic interview. I just want to say that out loud. Be sure to share the joy, tune in. And Cowrie Shell Divinations, I hope you liked my little intro video there. But Cowrie Shell Divinations, I do offer one-on-one soul support sessions, connecting you to your magic, medicine, and ritual. Sometimes one divination is not enough. So if your soul is at a crossroads, if you're not in the flow, you're feeling stuck in the mud, I am doing in-person divinations at Crohn's Hollow in Salt Lake City, Utah, only on Thursdays from noon to 4 p.m. Limited slots open there. I have been doing some fill-ins, I will say. Plus, I'm also doing an evening of gift and purpose, or an afternoon, I should say, 2 p.m. on September 30th. That's also on my website to register. I do have a freebie there as well. But I do offer them online. You can schedule and do them over Zoom. I do have other offerings. Part of the reason why is I find there's a lot of scrubbing that can happen for us. If you're new to energy healing, the Energy Body Demystified is actually for beginners who aren't really into, or they're kind of discovering energy medicine. I feel like it's a foundation, really healing our expression, your healer's journey, if you will, beginner's journey into the mystical, the magical. And from here, we go into Change Your Stars, which I do love. These all build up on each other. It's about you harnessing the power of your own ability to magnetize and monetize your intuition, your gift, and your purpose. I do honestly believe that we are star beings, really. We're all stars on a spiritual walk of fame. So it really is time to be the star that you are. And from here, we go into both. I should put them together. Uncover secrets of the other world and also voices of the other world. I love both of these. They both have different things. They kind of just go together, quite honestly. But I do dive into life and death from a near-death experience point of view. From my perspective, being initiated, that's what happened for me, blessed by death. I was initiated to go into the other world and get the memo. And of course, I still do have the Shamanic Healing Academy for witches, wizards, seers, reflectors, of course. That academy is open for some really celebratory fun as well. So super gifted and excited about that. And I'm sure you've seen 21 days to gather for a Witcher's Way to Manifestation. It's a manifestation challenge, but it's airing here on my channel. So during this, you really want to know what your subconscious limitations are about by really utilizing your reality as the curriculum, the environment that you are actually learning from. So you don't have to sit in plant medicine ceremonies. You can. I'm not dissing those. However, you can also utilize your own life experiences as your reflecting mirror or what's going on in here, meaning in your body, in your reality. And if you're new to my show, my channel again, and you don't know who I am, I truly am a holistic shaman medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a reflector by design. My name is Tanya D. I work one-on-one with guests, and also I do have an online support system to guide you into deeper levels of your inner peace and your power. I really work with subtle energies, the cosmos, the elementals, elevating different states of not just conscious awareness, but kind of ritual magic, if you will. So what do I mean by utilizing your reality as your curriculum, as your environmental stage, if you will, your choreography? So if you want to figure out what's up in here and start realizing the limiting beliefs and dissolving those subconscious limitations that are not serving you and your highest good, then just really start to allow and observe the way you experience your day-to-day reality and even into your future reality. That's called the Merlin effect. Where is it that you are triggered? Where is it that the emotions are arising and bubbling up? And I'm actually going to take this a little step further. Like, where is it in your life that you're like hitting up against the wall? That right there is a telltale sign. And there are others that you really have a subconscious limitation that's kind of working against your conscious core desire. It's like two repelling forces that are like pushing energy away, kind of like magnets in a way, repelling of energy. So this is what you have, you have to kind of ask yourself, you got to tune in. Like, what do I have to believe? What do I need to believe, or what do I need to be believing about myself or the world in order to be feeling this way? And really allowing yourself to sit in that question, observe, be an observership and also kind of receivership. What kind of storylines about you that come up? They're usually from your higher self. And then dive and go deeper, get deeper and deeper, dive in. So if a storyline comes up and bubbles up to the surface, you want to ask again. This is some really powerful stuff as it comes up. Take notice, right? And then when you're in your day-to-day world and you're wanting to rewire that belief, this is where you get to use some frequencies, if you will, some somatic energies of it, and also evolve our subconscious and those limitations. Thought limitations are there too. Maybe in that situation, here we go again. I'm triggered. Maybe there's fear. Okay, I'm triggered and there's some fear. And then, just understand that I'm feeling this fear. I'm feeling this fear because I'm believing this about myself. And you're just observing the fear. You're then allowing it to really be present. And then you become a safe haven, a big enough vessel to really hold the energy, the frequency, and also transmute it. And it's no longer defining you or your path. It's like, ooh, I feel the fear. I got to go the other way. Can't do this. I'm not doing that. No, 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 no. I feel the fear and it's perfectly okay. And I know that this storyline is not my truth. And then you then become a safe vessel for that energy to be held in sacred space and transmuted. And then as the energy leaves the body, you feel a shift in vibration. Not only are you going to take and then initiate the action, but your vibrational changes. And that's actually the secret sauce. It's the key to all of this. So if you want to figure out what your subconscious limitations are by doing some journaling work, again, I do have all kinds of free downloads and info that you can actually go to and download. It's in my vault. There's other stuff there too, but they're freaking fantastic. But if you want to start working with me one-on-one to really start creating the change, and have that guidance with you, go ahead and tap me on the shoulder. I think you're doing fantastic. But with that, I'm actually going to do a part 2 and get on with the elemental highway. And the messages this week are super fantastic. You cannot make the shift up. So with that, I'll see you on the other side, and just a blessing bowl in a minute, because this is getting kind of long and I know people's attention spans are short snippets. So here you go.
That next step into neutrality, or at least into satisfaction, changing a thought that goes, I don't have enough money, to I am rich, right? Or I am wealthy. It's like, it doesn't feel good. But finding that neutrality between I'm in debt or I don't have enough money to, oh, I have what I need right now in this moment. In this moment, I have food in my belly. I have something to drink. I have a roof over my head. And breathing into what we can find as far as satisfaction, finding that sense of positive aspects, finding that place of what am I content with? It doesn't mean we have to be over the moon excited, but finding the contentment now will then open up the doorway, because it's the law of sufficiency and abundance. If we can find the sufficiency in whatever we're either talking about, thinking about, perceiving, finding the sufficiency on that topic, then moving towards